Welcome to the show this fine Thursday afternoon. How's everybody doing out there in the beautiful world? Doing good.
Doing good.
Great. Awesome.
Doing good. Thanks for asking.
I am
How are you
so
doing?
happy to hear that. Oh, I've never been better.
You kind of got that lumberjack feel to you. You got like I'm like,
well, you know,
you're looking good. The beard's coming in nice. It looks good.
So part of the reason that I tend to wear a hat when we do this show isn't because it's cold in my office, but it's because my head is very shiny and there's lights in here. So I try to save you guys from the shiny bald dome as much as possible. It's not always gonna happen. Sometimes you might get
the beanie's working for you today, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, well, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
What a nice compliment.
Yeah, there you
it
go.
goes nice.
Let's give it up
with,
for that.
Like with the flannel looking good.
Hey,
He's got like a lumberjack thing.
He does.
But with my glasses, I'm like a smart lumberjack.
A smart
what I mean?
lumberjack. All you need is a chainsaw,
Well,
I got one of those.
Yeah,
chainsaw and an axe.
Yeah.
We've seen that in action.
We've seen that in action. Dude, let me tell you about that chainsaw, Brian. It's so dull.
Oh no.
So, my good friend and neighbor, Kyle Baffardi, he likes to, on his 4 days, and this is kind of fun. His 4 day, so he's a firefighter, and the way that works is they work 24-hour shifts. And not everybody, there's different structure for them, but the way that the schedule he chooses, he works a 24-hour shift on, 24 hours off, and then he gets 4 days, like consecutively as
In a
his,
row
as,
off.
as his day off. So it's called his 4 day. And because we're good friends, his 4 day starts to it'll happen on a Tuesday or whatever. Like this week it was on a Tuesday, and I'm like, man, your 4 days are really feeling like it's making me feel like it's Friday. Like it's my 4 day now.
So he's always like, when's my next 4 day?
Which is pretty awesome. Even though I still have to do work and whatnot, but I'm not like saving the world and doing the critical stuff that he's doing out there. I'm, doing different things. But anyhow, on those 4 days, sometimes we let loose, sometimes we get down. And, when he does that, he wants to chop trees down. This is, and this goes back to the lumberjack thing too. Cause, and so he had this apple tree in the backyard, and he's like, I want to cut this thing down, or whatever. And he literally breaks out this battery operated chainsaw, and the thing is like this big. The blade on it is like this big, right? And although I gotta say, by the time I went over, 2 houses down and got my chainsaw, my real steel chainsaw, I came back and fresh bar oil in there, bar and chain oil in there, for sure. That little mighty chainsaw had already cut down most of the tree. I was like, whoa, dude! Like I was really impressed with what was going on with that, and anyway. So we fire mine up, we put some gas in there and get everything going and whatnot, and fire it up, and it's just, it's spinning, but it's just not cutting the tree at all. Like it's, and it was just so dull. So we had to sit there and get that thing sharpened up.
Did it get sharpened?
Yeah, it's sharp now. Now it'll cut right through.
Oh
like
my
butter.
gosh. Well, congratulations on that. Nice work.
So, well, congratulate Kyle. He did it.
You cut the tree down.
He was so angry about how dull my
sharpened.
chainsaw was.
I'm sure
that he did it. So
you had to tighten it up a bit, make it look good.
Oh my gosh.
Like
we have a lot of fun birthdays in our family and
November,
in our lives this month and today
9 months ago, lots of people were getting down.
Well, I don't think that's really necessary to talk about 9 months in X amount of years.
There's a high volume of November birthdays in my I've noticed that there's a lot of.
Is February 9 months ago? What's the?
No, it's
or 10 months
the beginning
actually.
of summer, right?
No,
around there?
No,
it's like December. It's like Chris.
It's like January.
10 months.
It's like January.
Oh, it's January then.
January,
you
February.
gotta. It's
like
actually
Valentine's
10 months
Day.
that you're pregnant. Yeah.
Okay, so 10 months. Sorry.
Yeah. So look at like
I forgot. Day. Who knew? I had 2 kids.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of birthdays, we have 3 fun birthdays for today.
There is a birthday today.
Yep. So it's Chris's.
2 important birthdays.
It's 3 actually. It's Chris's sister's birthday, Heather.
Happy birthday, Heather.
I think it's her last year of her 30s. Heather, forgive me if I'm wrong. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
That. Happy birthday to Chris.
Why'd you have to tell her that?
Well, I can erase it. I hope. I mean, can you rewind?
He's already called out. She's already called out. We're good.
Oh my gosh, it's our good friend and Chris's brother from another mother, Trip.
Yes.
It's his birthday today.
Nice.
Talk to him.
Yeah. How old's Trip today?
Him. He's the same age as me, but I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay.
Well, actually, he's older than me right now.
Yeah, he's older than you. Yeah. How old is he today?
Yeah, he's 47.
47.
47. God. Give it up.
Yep. Happy birthday to Trip. Chris got to talk to him for a little bit today, and then it's one of our good friends and clients, Aramee. It's her birthday today, and
I didn't know she shared a birthday with
and she just had a grandbaby. Her daughter Sid just had their second baby boy, and he is just a cutie. Is his name Vaughn? Is that how they pronounce it? Vaughn?
I don't know.
Vaughn Tyson?
Yeah, it's the baby is so adorable, and then so like there's all the pictures, like, and then so I haven't been down there to see anybody, but the photos were freaking adorable.
Yeah, she just had him though. You don't want to go anywhere around them for a little while at least.
Nobody wants to see me. So,
yep.
Yeah,
and then it's my baby brother Tyson's birthday tomorrow. So happy birthday to Tyson too.
Yeah.
All right, got that out of the way. Birthdays. And if you guys didn't notice, Shannon's a little under the weather. She's not feeling hot.
I don't know what's
still
going
here.
On. Yeah, I'm still here.
But she's
a trooper.
She is a trooper. I tell you what, man.
I'm a joy today.
That work ethic is just admirable.
I thought you were a pain.
So
we had this debate last week. Last week we debated about is your home work life always balanced? And one of the people in the brokerage, Cody, who's married to Emily, he has no, I don't, like, this is the time my phone turns off.
Oh yeah, he's got a strict
he's got work life balance on lock.
He knows how to do it.
And Brian and I just laugh about it.
Yeah, we
people like text me and I'm like,
we don't really share that.
We try.
His phone rings, we answer.
Yeah.
If it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm up, we're gonna talk.
Unless it's spam. I don't answer the spam.
Yeah, no spam. No, don't spam me.
Yeah.
No.
And honestly, if you're gonna text me, and I probably shouldn't be giving you this tidbit, but spammers, if you call me Christopher, I already know that. I'm like, okay, so this person's never met me in my life.
Yeah.
So, gosh.
Because only my parents, when I was in trouble, would call me Christopher. Yeah. So yes, that is my name.
I think your wife calls you Christopher when you're in trouble
again,
too.
when I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So.
Work life balance. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're working on it.
We're working on that. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, you know what though? I'm not gonna lie. You guys, you two, Brian and Shannon, you two are like the opposite. You have a bad work life balance, but it's like way heavy on the work, and you know what I mean, and you never turn it off for. I mean, Brian does pretty good. He does his personal thing, but man, Shannon is on all the time.
I can't help it.
We need a hobby.
Just always on.
You gotta get like snowboarding, like.
No, I've been going to do hot yoga, but I haven't been able to the last couple days.
You know, hot yoga might clear you out.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I couldn't go today, which my favorite instructor is today. Her name is Lindsay, so shout out to Lindsay. She does like a Rasta reggae yoga flow, and she's wonderful. She like raps through it and plays reggae music, and it's so fun.
Did you get that? She raps.
She raps.
Like that's pretty hardcore.
My hot yoga.
Yeah, well,
dude, you got to do it.
She's going.
Oh, you have done it.
Yeah. Oh, I have done it. That's why I'm emotionally scarred.
He's thumbsing down the hot yoga.
All right. How about this one? What about
We're going tomorrow.
What about paddleboard? What do they call that one?
I would go do paddleboard yoga too. I'm gonna get my body strong enough. Yes, where you go out on a boat. On a paddle boat,
not
and then
boat,
a paddleboard, not a boat. Excuse me, pardon my French. a paddle board, one of those little like surfboard looking things.
We all know what a paddleboard is.
Well, just in case you didn't, it looks like a surfboard, but it doesn't go in the water. It goes on a lake or a pond or something.
Thanks for clarifying
that. These instructors, these paddleboard yoga instructors, teach you a yoga class on water and on the board.
So we were talking to one of the instructors. She has a girl that goes to our school where our kids go, and she said that, because Shannon asked her, she's like, have you ever fallen in? And she's like, oh yeah. And she said that you just have to kind of come to terms with that. Like, you're going to fall in.
You're going to fall in.
And once you're okay with that, like, just know, yes, you are going to fall in. And she also said that, like, men are better, because I was like, I did the crow the last time we did hot yoga, and I was like rubbing it in everybody's face, like, did you see?
I did the crow.
I did the crow, and I even uncrossed and crossed my legs. Like, I did the whole thing. And she said that that those type of moves are easier for men because we have bigger, like upper body strength. But what we don't have that the ladies have is good balance like they do. So generally, like, doing the yoga on a paddleboard can be a lot harder for a man, even though we can do some of the cool moves. Probably gonna fall in the water, basically.
So long story longer. Look out for the paddleboard yoga. All I need is a goat on the board, and I'd be straight. Like,
what do you need a goat for?
Because then you could do goat yoga and a paddleboard.
Board Yoda.
Yeah.
Or yoga.
Oh, Yoda. Let's add some Star Wars in there. That'd be cool.
I mean, a little puppy.
While watching Star Wars,
if they want, if they want.
Okay, so Star Wars, goat, paddleboard, yoga.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm sure that's going to be the newest thing.
Middle of a hot lake. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, and especially this time of year, I don't know if they really do it this time of year, but
they don't. They're shut down.
But it'd be like cold plunge and yoga.
Oh yeah.
I'd love that.
I'm awake. Now I'm awake. Yeah,
Speaking of cold plunge, I was at my buddy's house last night. We went to a whiskey dinner, which was awesome.
I'll show the picture of it.
And so these are the whiskeys that we tried, or the bourbons.
At the Black Forest Bistro.
At the Black Forest Bistro, it was super cool. I was, like, lucky to get this invite. I was the B choice, but that didn't ruin my experience. I accept that, I was plan B. Who
was plan A?
Jake.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So his best buddy, Jake.
Jakey couldn't go, and Chris got to stand in.
So I got to stand in. It was incredible. And me and my buddy Nick had the best time. I mean, it was so fun. Everything was great. Like, we met a young couple who sat at our table with us that were really nice. It went really well. Like, it was an incredible experience. And
did you have a headache today?
I did. Yes. Yeah, I did. Well, because I had an earlier appointment, and I didn't sleep so hot. Because, I tried a lot of bourbon, a lot of whiskey.
Yeah. When in Rome.
And what I'm noticing about that too, kind of, as Shannon's improving her dieting and what I'm noticing is more of the science behind what happens. So I'm like, why am I up? And it's because of all the sugar, I assume, in all that, you know what I mean? So I'm, had trouble sleeping as if like I had, drank 10 Red Bulls or something.
Yeah.
And I was still tired, but I just didn't sleep very well. So there's that. But the silver lining to that is my rehearsal. I didn't have to go to rehearsal today, so.
Did you have a ton of? Did you get to like take home any bottles of the whiskey?
Did they sell any?
No, I know there are some. I think that there's liquor laws about that. You would think that I know that some things had changed during COVID or whatnot, and I still don't think you can buy a bottle of bourbon at a restaurant.
When I went and did a wine tasting last year, I think it was in February, I could buy the bottles.
That was put on by Coltrane, and so that's a liquor store, and you also didn't buy it there. You came to the store.
No, this was one at a different place. It was at a.
Well, you may be able to buy a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Wine may be different because I know that that law you can buy a bottle of wine and take it with you. I just think that bourbon is. I learned a ton about bourbon, and of course I'm fairly new to bourbon. I'm getting my. I don't know. I'm getting, developing like my taste for it. And, starting to expand my palate and understanding what it is that I'm looking for in a good bourbon. But I'm not as well versed as like my friend Nick who took me there, and it was just really interesting to know, exactly like what makes a bourbon versus whiskey, what's required, in order to do that, how they finish the whiskey. It was just super cool.
Yeah.
And I got to try some. I had never had, well, actually, I don't think I had any of those. So that, if that goes to show you, I don't think I had any of these. I've seen the Yellowstone. I know about Buffalo Trace. I know that that's a really good one. That's not, it's in the same distillery as Blanton's and Weller, but it's not as exclusive. You can get that in a lot more places. But I hadn't tried any of these. And then this one on the far right that looks like a bottle of wine, that one was aged, or it was finished in port barrels. So
fun.
So you can
wine barrels versus port.
Well, you still, in order for it to be a bourbon, which it was still technically a bourbon, in order for it to be a bourbon, it has to be made in the United States. It has to have a certain grain or mash bill in there, and it has to be aged in oak barrels, virgin oak barrels, meaning nothing's ever been inside that barrel, and charred. So they light it on fire to get the char in there, and 2 years it has to be aged.
Can you buy those oak barrels after the fact? Is that what people are using to use for like bar stools or design?
Oh, totally.
Stuff?
You can buy those, and another
what
thing.
What a cool way to repurpose that.
Oh
that
yeah,
product.
totally. Actually, I was talking to Nick about it, and we came to the conclusion, like, he showed me his bourbon collection when we got back to his house, which is phenomenal, by the way. And he came down, we tried some more bourbons down there, and I was like, dude, I really think that you could do, like, you could have done the bourbon tasting right here, because he knows all about them. He has a good selection. The guy is like a amazing.
What do they call like the bourbon people? Like, it's a cicerone for the beer.
I don't know what that designation is. There definitely is something like that.
Sommelier for a wine or whatever. What's the bourbon?
Yeah. I don't know, Shannon. That's a great question.
Yeah. Great question. Someone can give it to us when they get into our comments.
Hell yeah. What's this one, Brian? What'd you order on Amazon here? Got a little ginger cologne.
This is the.
I can pretty smell this picture. I can
smell it too. Yeah. Is this for your BVI trip?
Yeah. So this is how do you know you're taking a ginger to the Caribbean? This is there's a couple like little hints that
there's 4 in there. Are you
there's 6 in there?
There's 6. Okay. You're not putting those on your carry-on bag, because that won't make it through TSA.
No, they're packed. They're going to be packed bags. So
when do you guys leave? You don't have to disclose.
I'd keep them in the plastic as long as you could. Too,
yeah.
We leave next week. Yeah.
Well, you are a lucky person being able to go to the islands for Thanksgiving. So have fun.
It'd be good. It'll be nice. Nice to get out of town.
Maybe we could check in with you. We could send
while he's on the boat.
Oh, that we can do that. Like,
it'd be
we have internet. We have everything.
I feel like that would just hurt our feelings a lot.
Perfect.
I can do like I'll do like a quick in and out. Hey,
since when do our feelings matter?
Oh my gosh! Let's give Anna a shout out here. She was number 2, and I can't remember her girlfriend's name that went to the show on Sunday night.
She looks like she's wearing my flannel.
Yeah. Jeez. What was she trying to do here? Get on the buffalo? Like.
Okay, so everyone that knows Anna, and I love Anna to death, and so when we work together, like every time we're like, let's do something dumb, we're like, hey Anna, will you help us do something dumb? And she was always like, she's all game. So like every time we come up with dumb ideas, she's always like, yeah, I'll help you do that. Like, I love you. Yeah. So I told her, so we're having dinner at the Breckenridge Brewery in
How was that, by the way? You said it was no peachy bueno?
No, it wasn't great.
Did you say peachy bueno?
Yeah. So we get in there, and there's this giant stuffed buffalo. I'm like Anna, look, you can go ride that thing. And she's like, you think they'll mind? I'm like, oh, I don't think so. And so we asked the server. I'm like,
can't see why they would mind.
I said, hey, Anna wants to ride the buffalo, and she said, oh, it's fine. Everyone can go ride the buffalo. Just I'll jump on it. Sometimes it comes with security guards that help you find a different location to go hang out at.
Oh my gosh.
But, you know, and so that was, I was like, Anna, come on, we got to go at least get a picture of you getting on the buffalo.
Oh my gosh.
So
well,
that's
nice work.
as close as we could get.
Nice work. And then this is you and Buttons up in Silverthorne or at Dillon?
Yeah, we're in Keystone, so that's
I don't see a lot of snow. I don't see a lot of snow behind you there.
Day 2. Well, you can see it in the mountains behind us. I mean, day 2 on the mountain. You know, last week we got 4 days in. It was pretty sweet. But it's fun always to hang out with Haley, and I got a day in with Rob, I got 2 days in with Haley, and a day in with Grant. So it was good.
Nice.
Sweet.
Nice. Yeah. Well, we went and did a couple of classes today. You did one and I did one, and I wanted to remind everybody that it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter where you are in your life. If it's a goal for you to be able to invest in real estate, that's get you on that train sooner than later. I did a post this week earlier about how real estate is one of the fastest ways to build generational wealth. And it's one of the ways that those that are lower income, I don't know how else to say this, but they can build wealth for their families too. And you need to, get on the bus with us and learn how to do that, because it is a tried and true fact. So,
well, the other part to piggyback on top of that, over the next probably 10 years, you're going to see the largest generational wealth shift like to other generations that we've seen probably in modern history. So the baby boomers who are aging as they pass on, or they move into assisted care, they move in with family members, whatever, they're going to end up selling their properties, and or you'll inherit it or whatever. That's going to be the largest generational wealth shift that we've ever seen. The baby boomers at the current time own more real estate than anyone else, and that part is going to help shift towards younger generations and helping with other people being able to afford homes. You'll start seeing where, like, the Gen X like us are selling our houses to get, or we'll transfer that to our children, however it is. But that's how you see generational wealth change hands is, people inherit a house from their family member, or they have something else happen. And, we've seen a bunch of different opportunities for some of our friends and clients that, a parent passed on and left them a house, and, they're like, should I sell it? And I'm like, this is like the opportunity to have a house. You don't own a house. Why would you sell it? This house is paid off. Like one of your largest expenses, 33 to 34% of your budget is based on what your housing costs are. Why would you sell that?
Right.
So
I was the class that I was in today. I wanted to share this statistic. This is going to go on a way different track, but it was talking about inflation and the recession and where we are in our economy today. And in the last year, per family, we are looking at $747 more expenses per month, per household. And I just thought that number was astonishing from this economist that shared this number, $747 per month. We're spending more on our groceries, on our heating bill, on our phone bill.
That's a big jump.
That's a huge jump for people. And it really, it kind of gut punched me when I saw that, because number one, how many of those people got a $750 raise per month? Probably none.
Not
you know what? So their income didn't increase. So people are really, on the flip side of the home ownership, I can see that there's a lot of struggling going on in the world here right now too. So
big time.
Just quick numbers. That's $9,000 a year.
$9,000 a year.
So
yes.
if you had a $100,000 a year job and you got a 3% raise, right? You got a $3,000 raise. Your bills still went up $9,000.
Yep.
You're still
well, and we are. I mean, that is obvious. That's an interesting statistic to see it, laid out like that. But you definitely can, if you go out to eat, if you buy groceries, whatever it is,
you can feel it.
You can definitely, you're seeing the, double, 3 times the price on everything pretty much.
Yeah. How can we help our clients offset that a little bit? I have an idea. What is your idea?
Seller concessions.
Ooh, what are seller?
You mean in terms of buying?
Yes,
a house.
in terms of buying a house. Yeah, it might not help the seller other than getting them out of the house, but let's explain what seller concessions are, what we're seeing happening in the market
this
with
is
that.
a loaded question for 25 minutes in.
Yep, we have a few minutes to talk about it. What it is, because our first-time home buyers, they don't understand it, and we have to explain it to them in a language that they can understand. So let's talk about it.
I don't think, just to throw this in, I don't think people that have bought a house in the last 8 years completely understand.
Well, that's because the market didn't exist in the market that we were in, and now that we've had a little bit of a shift,
this is good for everybody.
This is good.
They've never heard of it. They're like, I mean, we talked to somebody the other day, and they were buying an $800,000 house. And we're talking about concessions, and like, I don't know what that means. I'm like,
people don't know.
Let's talk.
Explain it. What are seller concessions?
So seller concessions are a way to help buyers. So if we ask, we're writing an offer on a home, and we know that you're a first-time home buyer. You potentially have a fixed income. You might have only a certain amount in your savings, and we want to help you with that, or we want to facilitate a better experience for you to get a better rate, because you can use it to buy your rate down, so you can get a potentially better rate. Now, usually when that happens, it's not a better rate throughout the 30-year term. It's on the first couple years, but those savings are significant over the first couple years, and it can help with things like closing costs. So it's not necessarily the seller is going to give you $10,000, but they are going to give you $10,000 in the form of rate buy downs and closing cost help.
And each loan, I'm sorry, Brian, each loan term, like VA and FHA and versus conventional, each product there has a certain percentage that the buyer can leverage. So we have to be conscious of that too. So for instance, VA can't go over 4%, but 4% on a $500,000 house, that's a good deal of money. So we typically, for our clients, we ask for the max. We ask for the moon, and we make them come back and say, no, we're only going to give you this much because I want as much coverage as we
have done that, though, and we've also, been told no. so it's not a perfect storm, and you have to look at it from both sides of the coin. Yes, we want to help the buyers, and we want to, everybody wants to get to the end game, which is selling the house. However, you also need to look at it from the seller's perspective and understand that that's their bottom line, and they have a certain number that they're trying to, to reach in order to, facilitate whatever it is the next step for them. So
some of those numbers, I mean, so in the last, I went to the class this morning with Macon Aller, and for 59% of sellers gave a concession. On average, it was about 3.5%. So
that's a pretty good number.
And
that's just the Denver market.
So that stat is saying we're seeing a lot. We're seeing a lot of concessions right now. For sure, because that's quite a bit.
Yeah. So 59% of the sales have had concessions in it. So the average being around, I think it was $9,200 was what the average concession was. But the percentage was 3.5%. So
and some sellers will actually offer the concession right up front. They'll say we are offering a X amount dollar concession, in order to drive. And I think that's really smart. I think that when you see that, that agent is really on top of it, because they know that it's very likely that the buyers are going to ask for it, and they're setting the tone for exactly what they're willing to put out there. And I think that's a really wise choice.
Well, I mean, that's again, why you hire a professional to help with that marketing strategy. I mean,
absolutely.
If hey, I have 10 houses in my neighborhood that are my competitors, and none of them are offering any kind of incentive as far as, concession, why would you not incentivize that one or two buyers that are looking at a house in your neighborhood to look at yours a little bit stronger than somebody else's, right?
Absolutely.
So that's a good strategy. It makes sense in certain situations, and in other situations it doesn't always make sense. So we just would address it as it goes. So But seller concessions are huge right now. So
yep, pretty popular.
We haven't seen it in the last 7 to 8 years, really, and now we're really
didn't
seeing
exist.
Yep, it's coming back to where a generation of buyers haven't heard of it, right? And that's kind of
well, and I think that with the not really the confusion, but potentially, like, let's say that you offer less than asking and you have concessions on there, and your offer is not accepted. You really need to consider like I was saying earlier, the bottom line of what you did offer. You didn't offer just the, under list price. You actually offered that plus whatever the concessions cost, right? Because that's what the seller is looking at. It's
a gift. It's literally a gift to go to the buyers. It's saying, hey, I'm going to take $10,000 and I'm going to give it to you to help with X, Y, and Z. Right. So they don't get to take that and put it in the seller's pocket when they sell the house. The buyer gets to take it and leverage it for their closing costs or their prepaids or the rate buy down or whatever it is to help them.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we have a lot of lenders right now that are reaching out on a daily basis saying, hey, I'm offering 1% in down payment assistance. I have down payment assistance programs with seller that you can leverage with seller concessions. We have builders that are reaching out saying we're offering crazy incentives with seller concessions with different rates. So the opportunity right now for buyers to get in the game and get into real estate and start they're building their investment portfolio. It's very, very strong. So don't let the rates fool you. Rates are going to fluctuate over time. And, unfortunately, we will not see rates like we did in 2020, 2021 ever again, I don't believe. And if we do, then, Hail Mary, I was wrong.
It's not very likely
on that, but you still have the opportunity to build your own equity and build your generational wealth by investing in real estate. So we're huge advocates on that. We want to teach you how to do it. And there are tools and little tricks that we can help with to help get you in the game. So
you bet.
Give us a call.
Yeah.
Yep. We're all about finding creative ways to, just like the seller is being creative by entertaining the idea of concessions or offering concessions, they ultimately want to sell the house to the buyer. We ultimately want, to sell the house or to have our
help the buyer get the best house. Yeah, for them.
So, it's.
I heard something today that was a great thing that I want to leverage in our marketing and in our business for our clients, and it's leveraging D's. Okay, the letter D. D's, diamond or a deal. We're looking for a diamond or we're looking for a deal. Either way. And I loved how we could incorporate both because people are looking for the gem and the pie in the sky, so to speak, or the unicorn, or they want the best deal possible. And I think we can do.
And some people want both.
And I think we can do both. We do a really good job of doing both. Yeah. So if you're looking for D's,
yep,
let us know. I just love that. Chris is shaking his head.
Looking for D's.
Yeah. Chris is not looking for D's.
He's not entertained today. He is not entertained.
So good, man. All right. It's been a great show. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
And on that note,
if
you're looking for D's.
Looking for D's.
Where was HR on that one?
Yeah, HR is sucking.